What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I wanted to break down what's going on with the overall market, what's going on with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, and all these other tickers. I want to talk about why tomorrow is going to be a big day for some tickers such as Tesla. So we have some big data coming out and how things are looking when it comes to the charts and such. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks. And this offer ends very, very soon. So anyways, now let's break down what's going on with the charts. So when it comes to SPY, we had this potential breakdown coming from the rising wedge, and there could be a change in market structure developing after what we saw on Friday. But just to be safe, we're going to be watching for some kind of follow-through moves and also watching our support, which is going to be very important for tomorrow. But I also want to talk about Tesla and a few more tickers as we have some big news coming out first. So when it comes to the market, first off, don't forget, guys, there's just some very minor data coming out. 15 minutes after the market opens, we have the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI report coming out at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully, this is very close to expectations. The last time PMI came out, this was below expectations, which caused the market to drop. So just be very careful with this. And then at 10 o'clock a.m., we have construction spending. Nothing too crazy for tomorrow, just 15 minutes and 30 minutes after market open. And that's pretty much it. Now, that's some very, very minor data, but some other companies and many individual tickers have big data that's going to cause some very big volatility for them specifically. I just wanted to call out NEO. So NEO did very well for deliveries. 18,000 deliveries for December. There's a chart right here. You guys could look at this in the Twitter page if you want to see it. And they actually beat expectations for the quarterly report. We were expecting 47 to 49,000 deliveries. They did well over 50,000. So this is bullish news for NEO. If you're interested in playing the chart, that's one option. Then we also have more data coming out for Tesla. Tesla came out. This tends to be a very, very accurate estimator. They mentioned that they're estimating about 479,000 deliveries for Q4 of 2023. The analysts are expecting 480,000, and they have a nice detailed break of what the numbers could look like. So it's very interesting to see. I went over this in my previous video, but I found something else that's interesting. An IR compiled consensus is looking at about 480,000 deliveries. Everything is very close. That's what I was thinking too, around 480,000. Hopefully we get over 1.8 million for the entire year. If we get something like that, that could be quite decent for Tesla. Now, although this is kind of short of what Elon Musk initially said at 2 million, that was a very long time ago. So if these articles are still bringing that up, it's a-okay. I mean, once again, Tesla still did very well. That shouldn't really change my view of them. But looking at some more company compiled delivery consensus data from different firms, we're expecting very close to what I just said, 480.5 thousand for Q4. And then for the entire year, it's 1.805 million. So something like that would be very, very interesting. So according to the reports, Tesla's actually going to be reporting the Q4 deliveries before the market opens on Tuesday now. I saw another report that said they were going to do this today, but it turns out this has been delayed. Instead, it's going to be tomorrow before market open. So I'll be back tomorrow to talk about this. This is going to be very significant for Tesla. So expect some high volatility as time goes on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just kind of clicking on this by mistake. Don't worry about that. I also want to mention we have more details about it. You guys could just kind of pause the video and just read through this if you want. We're estimating about 64,000 Model S and X's for 2023, and quite a bit of the 3s and the Ys, which make up the majority of their deliveries, especially those Ys, which are very popular in the US and such. Once again, we saw even Elon Musk reiterate 1.8 million vehicles for their delivery target for the Q3 during the Q3 earnings call. That's for the entire year. So let's hope and see if we get something like that. Once again, I think Tesla's going to come very close, if not beat it. Now, when it comes to more data, I just wanted to go over this article real quick. There are now going to be some changes to the EV tax incentives for Tesla. The Model 3, Model X, Model Y, Model Y RWD, the Model Y long range, the Model Y performance, there's going to qualify for the full tax credit. Other Tesla models may not actually qualify. Some of them qualify for half the credits, but these are the main ones so far, just to let you guys know. That's pretty much it when it comes to news and such. Now let's just break down some charts. So let's just start off with Tesla. I know that this is what's on a lot of people's minds. Honestly, guys, technical analysis will not work very well for Tesla as it depends on deliveries. But I do want to call out that we have a bullish falling wedge, which it has a good chance of potentially getting a breakout, a gap up and a go. So I do favor that technically Tesla might actually try to break out to the upside. We might get some decent data, at least temporarily. There could just be a move to the upside first, and we'll see if Tesla can break out. So make sure you watch all these different levels. We have resistance at 250, 252, 256. 260, 262, 265, and then we have this yellow trend line, which was previous support becoming resistance, which is going to be close to like 265 tomorrow. Then we have like 270 above that. For support, watch 247. Below that, we have this like 244 to 243 area. Then we have 240 below that. So overall, I would say that we have nice support and resistance levels to watch for on Tesla. A bullish falling wedge, which favors the bulls a bit more. The chart is looking like it's going to get a bullish breakout, but just to be safe, never be 100% convicted solely based off technicals on a big delivery day like this. Watch the data just to be safe. That's the best thing I could really say. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. As far as SPY goes, we had a bearish breakout from this rising wedge. So we want to be very careful with SPY. We have this support right over here. We have this nice support at 474. I'm going to be watching to see if this could hold. In my opinion, it's going to pop when we open, depending on Tesla. It might shop around a bit, and as the day goes on, depending on the data of the PMI report and such, we could see something very similar to what we saw on Friday, where it kind of like sold off and then came back up like this. Something like that could be very possible, at least just for tomorrow. So look for a little drop towards this, little pop and drop, like move towards like 474. And if we fail to close above that, we're going to turn even more bearish. If we do hold above it, we could try to bounce. But I'm going to be watching these levels very carefully. Watch 476 is key resistance. 475 is some support, then 474 next, followed by 473.8. If we lose all of those, if we close below 474, I would turn more bearish. This is looking a little bit more bearish as we've broken out of this like rising wedge, and this could start downtrending a bit more. So just be very careful, guys, just to be safe. And I just wanted to make it very clear that that's what I'm seeing so far. So just be a little careful on SPY. It's looking a little bit more bearish, but watch your levels just to be safe. Same thing with the QQQ. We've got this rising wedge, break to the downside. We're going to be watching this resistance right here at 410. Then we have this previous support becoming resistance at around 411, 412, 413. It's kind of funny how it's like almost every dollar. 413 is next, and then those are going to be resistance levels. 408 as support. Below that, there's 407-ish. Then we have 405.7. The chart is looking bearish because we've broken this low. Lower high, lower low, lower high, could be breaking down towards that 406 area. Going to be looking at support at 408. I think it's going to pop first when we open, depending on Tesla, then make its way down slowly back down to 408 as the days go on. Tesla's going to have a big effect on this, so just be careful for tomorrow. But later on down the line, I still anticipate that 406 test is coming. I anticipate some more downside on the QQQ. For Nvda, I just want to call out that Nvda still holding up decently, but it started to break down during the after hours. It's still trying to get above 495, so it's not that bad, but we had this rising wedge, which tends to lead to bearish outcomes. So I told you all around 498 to 500, maybe a little higher or lower. That's where this thing's going to top. We hit this it just touched 500 during the pre-market on Friday, came down, came back up, and starting to show some weakness here, starting to reject. Look for a pop tomorrow at 498 or so, then a rejection. I think that Nvidia is going to test this blue trend line next. I think 490 is coming, so a little pop and drop. And if it fails at that, there's 488. If that doesn't hold, it's going to turn down even lower. So watch these levels. I have them marked over here. Pop and drop is very, very likely for Nvidia. For the QQQ, I think that I went over the QQQ, guys. Sorry about that. The last thing is the Aapl, not the QQQ. Sorry about that all. For Aapl, this is also not looking that great to me because we're making, well, look at the trend, right? Lower high right here. We're going to lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We tried to break out, but it ended up failing as time went on. So it attempted to break from here. That's where the buyers are defending, very close to this 190 to 192 area. It's actually closer to like 191.8. So I would say Apple's still not looking that great. It's trying to base close to 190. So I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of pop again. It was 193.5. Fill this imbalance, then we reject, and we just kind of try to base around 190, at least for the time being. If you want to turn more bearish, you want to see it lose 190. If it closes below this, it's going to be even more bearish. Otherwise, it's kind of range bound between 190 and 195, which I think it's most likely going to be doing for some time. So a little pump and drop is expected. It might close just above 190. If it loses that, it's going to drop even more. And then we're just going to be watching this range on Aapl, at least for the time being. But that's pretty much it. The trend is still a little bit more in favor of the bears on Aapl. For SPY, the QQQ, and many tickers out there. For NEO and Tesla, they look bullish overall. Tesla has a bullish falling wedge, which could lead to a bullish break. The weekly on NEO looks bullish, and we're going to be watching for a test of 10.21. If it breaks above this, we're going to be pushing even higher. So watch it very carefully for NEO. But guys, that's pretty much it for my video. I want to make this one kind of short. I am very late today because it was New Year's and I was away for the day, but that's very rare for me. Most days I'm actually here, and I'm going to be going back to my normal schedule starting tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning to talk about Tesla's numbers. Please remain calm, cool, and collected, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Happy New Year, everyone. Take care, and peace out.